Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. And if you are visiting me for the first time, may I request you to please subscribe? And I promise you, you're not going to be disappointed. So continuing with the topic, I had been discussing about how to behave or how would you kill the audition interview which is about to happen for Miss India 2020. Now that the forms have been filled, the pictures have gone, the videos have gone, so next step is going to be a virtual interview and they're going to check you out, and that's how they're going to uh, pick up girls for their finals. So 31 girls will be picked up, one per state, and it's not very clear whether there'll be zonal rounds or not, but 31 girls, 100%, one girl per state will be chosen. And I have been also telling you that in a normal audition we get to appear from various states, and this time they've already seen you once and you cannot be making too much of a change within a month, so they won't see any change in you within a month. So you never know whether you get a second chance or not, whether, so you don't know, depending on how many people they have to audition or what they have to do, it all depends. So just in your mind think, maybe this is the only time you can appear, so put your best foot forward. In part 1, I told you how to prepare a virtual stage for yourself with all the equipment which you think should be in place, and I've already told you no need to buy, you can always borrow it from your friends and set up a wonderful stage from where you will appear for this audition. In part 2, I told you how to dress up perfectly so that their visual senses are very happy to see you. You know, aesthetic also matters a lot, and if your style, your grooming, your makeup, your hair, everything is perfect, half the battle is already won. In part 3, I spoke to you about body language, that what do you say with your body, how do you control your nerves, how do they know that you are confident. So without speaking, how do you convey that you are confident? And now I'm coming to part 4, which is communicate well. Crack those questions, give the best answers, because this final will be the nail in the coffin. So either you are this way or that way, so you break it or you make it, it's all in your hand. So preparation, 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 rehearsal, 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 dress rehearsal, recording, dress rehearsal, recording. If you continue to do that and it becomes your muscle memory, so finally when you actually appear for that interview, you will be able to give your 100% best. So giving you the insights about the communication, how and what you have to say and how you have to answer. So first and foremost, I would like to say that reading is very, very important, you see, because you can't be knowing everything, right? But you must have a bit of an idea about the common problems which are happening in your city, in the country, in the world, just general, because they're not going to ask you some so very difficult questions. So they are just going to check on how you communicate. Well, to start with, the first thing you have to remember is that be original. Don't be fake. Do not try and copy somebody else's style of speaking. Do not copy anybody else's answers, right? And let me tell you, most of the questions which will come to you will come from the introduction you have submitted. So your questions to get to know you will be revolving more about the introduction you have submitted. And maybe a question about that tell us something about yourself or introduce yourself. So you're repeating what you just said in your introduction. But here is the catch, which I'll just tell you in a little while. But first and foremost, let me first prepare you for that communication. So first and foremost, be original. Don't be fake. Don't try to put on an accent. Speak in whichever dialect you speak your English. You don't have to put on, because that shows very, very badly and that can give a very bad impression. A lot of girls have asked, is English necessary? I would say yes and no. Because when you travel internationally, now there could be two scenarios. Most of the time they have translators who will translate your language into English language. That part can be taken care of. But when you are there with the other girls from different nationalities, and if you don't know English, it will be difficult for you to communicate with them, and you're going to be there for 15-20 days. And if you just cannot speak to anyone and you speak only through actions, you may not feel very comfortable. So at least verbal English, or they say the everyday English, knowing that is important. However, when you speak during your interview, if you are not comfortable with your English language, please go ahead and tell the judges that you will be more better answering in Hindi. And it's not, at the moment, it's not that they're going to put too much of a focus on language, but they're going to see how you express yourself. How do you tell them exactly what you're thinking, what you're believing? So words matter a lot. How do you express matters a lot. And eventually keep working on your everyday English, spoken English. And that can happen when you read a lot, when you listen a lot, listen to news, read something or the other every day, build up on your vocabulary. Whether you like it or not, start using English in your everyday life with family, with friends, and slowly you'll get out of that fear. So very important is to express yourself, but do try and learn English, because it will be handy for you when you travel international as a winner. Okay, so do not memorize your answers. Okay, so you may go through the internet, you may get a lot of questions, and you try to memorize those answers. So what happens is that when you try to memorize those questions, you may forget, and then you will absolutely go blank with that blank look, which is a killer. No point. So don't memorize. So what you can do is, maybe you can have bullet points. You can have bullet points, and you can just remember those bullet points, and then you can answer, and try to build your answer like a story. Don't be haphazard with your answers, going here, there, and there is just no connection. One point is somewhere else, the other is somewhere else. So try to build up and join the points together, the dots together, as they say, and then answer. Very important. And please don't memorize. Also, reading is not allowed. You cannot just have written your answer somewhere, and when they ask, just read out from there. Wrong. It has to come straight from your heart. And so the more you are natural, the more better you will be as a contestant. Then next is that don't give very long answers. They have just simply asked you, like, for example, I mean, this they will not ask, but I'm just giving you a very hilarious example. If somebody says, how are you feeling? How are you today? How are you feeling? And people say, oh, I'm feeling good today, but yesterday I had the stomach pain and it just wasn't going. So I went to the doctor. The doctor wasn't available, so I called my friend, and see, the person only said, how are you feeling today? Didn't ask you a life story. So don't do that. And typically an answer should finish in 30 seconds. So please do not go on and on and on, and you'll switch people off. So be to the point, be as short as you can. Very important to remember that. Then avoid too many I statements. I have done this, and I have done that, and I am this. It feels like boasting. So instead of I, you can use some other means, and that can only happen when you practice those questions. So the more you remove the I statements and join these sentences together, the more you will become expert at expressing yourself without using too much of I statements. And I is too much. Also very important is to avoid filler words like I mean, and I mean, oh, or these are filler words. Normally it happens when you are looking for an answer, when you're searching for an answer and you're connecting the dot, but that happens when you're not prepared. But when you're prepared, you know very well. But let me also tell you that there may be 1,000 questions or maybe 1,500 original questions you will find, which can come to you. All those will not come to you with the audition interview, but I'm just giving you a general idea. If you're preparing for a pageant, there may be 1,000 or 1,500 questions altogether. And all the other questions you see, 5,000, 7,000 questions, are the brothers and sisters of this 1,000 questions. For example, one question, tell me about yourself, describe yourself, introduce yourself, give me your elevator pitch. Sorry. So it's one question, but it has so many brothers and sisters. So be aware that if you have practiced the main question, you will be able to answer all the brothers and sisters question. So you don't have to put it in your mind that, oh my God, if I'm preparing for a pageant, I have to do 5,000 questions. How will I answer? And when you are communicating, when you are talking to them, it's natural to be nervous. It happens. And nervousness is also good sometimes, because if you don't have the stress, you will take life for granted. When there is stress, then you actually want to perform your best. Nervousness is good unless it really overpowers you. So in case you are nervous, it could be that there's lack of oxygen. I've all spoken in my previous videos. You need to take a deep breath, or maybe your throat is dry, just take a glass of water. That's why it's important to keep a bottle of water handy in front of you. Okay, so to prepare for questions, to prepare yourself well, for being aware, read newspaper every day. Look at the headlines every day. What is happening around the country? What is happening everywhere? Just remember that. And also, it's very important to listen to the question well. Many times they're asking you something and you're answering something else. Maybe when they just started the question and you started halfway, you didn't even listen to the whole question. And sometimes the question has two parts. For example, who's your role model and why? You only answered who's your role model and you forgot to answer the why. So you will not get the benefit of that question. So very important, listen to the question well, give half a second of thought, and then start answering. But remember, pick up, when you are listening to the question, pick up the main words which are very, very strong. For example, who, role model, why. Okay, so you picked up these three important words and then you're answering to these three important words. So it's a practice to understand the question, and it's a practice to answer the question as well. So listen to the question well, pick up those important words, and then frame your answer around it. That's very, very important. So don't interrupt, as I said, and don't give half answers. Understand the question well, what exactly they are asking, okay, and then follow through. Be very clear in what you're trying to say, so don't beat around the bush. And if you're not sure, there's no harm in saying that I'm not too sure about the answer, ma'am, but be very clear whatever you're saying. Also be concise. That means be brief. Don't go on and on and on. Be very concrete with your answers. That means have solid answers, back them up with something, example or something, so that it becomes a very, very solid answer. Also very important is that your grammar should be in place. So if you're speaking in English, then your tenses, your grammar, everything should be in place if you really want to impress them. You may have a lot of knowledge, but if you are not speaking right, your grammar is not right, somewhere or the other, it will not leave a good impression. Remember to be very, very courteous. So all the magical words, please, excuse me, may I, thank you, you're welcome, I'm sorry, these are the kinds of words which you must use. So be very courteous when you speak and use these appropriate words wherever possible. Also try to be very creative with your answers. Think out of the box. What will others say? Okay, I'll not say the same thing. I'll say something different. So be creative, and once again, that can only come if you practice your questions. If you don't practice, then you will say what every person says, and then where is your uniqueness? So be very, very credible. So if you're quoting some facts, you're quoting someone's name, some statistics. Don't say something which you're not sure of. Otherwise your credibility will go. And never, 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 ever lie. Because you never know. To cover one lie, you might be using 100 more lies, and people can find out that you are lying. So best is not to lie, be original, be absolutely clear and transparent with who you are. And when you're practicing your questions, it is also very important to practice on your voice modulation, your pitch, your timbre, your rate of speech, the volume. Everything has to be in place. So if you go on the internet and just type voice modulation, you will get a lot of insights that when you are emphasizing on something, where the word should be, whether it goes up, whether it goes down, where you should pause, where you should stop. And also remember, don't be in a hurry to answer. So when you're writing something, there are commas, there are full stops. The same thing should happen when you're speaking. The inflections, the diction, and everything should be in place. So do practice. Again, I cannot put more emphasis on this, that practice will make you perfect. Next is, if you feel that you are unable to express or open up, or certain words are bothering you, then start practicing tongue twisters. When we were young kids and we used to practice these she sells seashells on the seashore, or chachu ki chacha ne chachu ki chachi ko, you remember? So these tongue twisters loosen up your tongue. And most of the people who do go for learning the voice modulation and stuff for the glamour world are actually taught tongue twisters. So that actually loosens up your tongue, and you are able to pronounce the words better. And most important, once again, when you meet them, don't forget your manners. Do wish them good morning, good afternoon, have a great day, nice to have met you, thank you for giving me your time. Use your manners. Okay, so finally we come down to the questions. I've already told you, most of the questions they will ask you will come from your introduction. About you, about your work, about your hobbies, about your family, about your education, about your goals, aims, value system, about you as a person. They would want to know you as a person. And as I said, most of the questions will be extracted from your introduction. Then there will be questions about general questions which normally are asked. What is so unique in you? Why should you be chosen as a finalist for Miss India? They might ask you to describe yourself. Now out here, when they say describe yourself, just highlight 2-3 things from your introduction, because they already have your introduction. But now also tell, this is the time where you can also add what you could not include in your introduction of 59 minutes. You have plenty to talk about your life, your achievements, the languages you know, where do you see yourself in coming years. So this is the moment. It's an open question. So go talk about it, put your strengths in, whatever you can. So that's an open question which can really, really impress the judges. They might ask you, why have you chosen this platform, Miss India? They might even ask you, which of the previous Miss Indias has inspired you and why? They might ask you, what will you do if you win this contest? What will you do if we don't pick you as a finalist? So generally, to get to understand you better. And as far as awareness is concerned, they might ask you about the present situation, maybe about pandemic, what's your opinion, how did you pass your time during the lockdown, and stuff like that. So questions also could be question like, who's your role model and why, and about your family, and how do they support you, and all that stuff. So these questions at the audition level are not going to be very tough. They're just going to be general. And if you have practiced well, you will just sail through. It's not a rocket science at all, right? So if everything is in place, your presentation, they might ask you about your cause. I've already talked about it, that it shouldn't appear that you have just started this cause only because you want to get into Miss India. Also, they should not even feel that you're getting into Miss India only because you think it's a road to Bollywood. Okay, so it should appear that you're genuinely wanting to work and give something back to humanity, and that you're a genuine person. You've been doing something for humanity, because after all, Miss India is all about beauty with a purpose, and it's very important. And if you have a great purpose, it's gonna be wonderful for you. And if you stand out, you'll definitely get noticed about that as well. So do keep these little things about communicating in mind, the question and answers, your pleases and thank yous in place, and just don't be scared. Just get friendly to this camera, because the more you get friendly to the camera, you have a great eye contact with it. Learn to talk to the camera. Practice, practice, practice. Record every day. Dress rehearsal, practice rehearsals, and you will sail through. Not to worry at all. And come worst to worst, what will happen? Nobody's gonna kill you. Nobody's gonna throttle you. If you can't make it this year, you can always make it next year. Take it as a learning experience. So many people keep trying for a couple of years. Do that. It's not the end of the world. So just put in your best foot forward, do whatever best you can, and surrender the rest to the Almighty. Whatever is good for you will definitely happen, right? So all the very best to all the Miss India aspirants who are now ready to appear for the audition interview. And once you clear that audition and you become a finalist, we will have more to talk about, prepare you more for your journey ahead. And I believe in going step by step, step by step. So the next step is now to clear your auditions, and once you've cleared them, a lot more is coming on your way. And in any case, if you have any questions, please do write. I will answer those questions. And if you want me to make a video on any specific topic, please do get back to me. I will try my level best to make that. And yes, and anybody's wanting to come and learn from me one-on-one, you have my number out there. You can always message me and we will send you all the detailed information. The book, a lot of people have been asking me about the book. So in case you want this book to prepare, then it can be couriered to you, but courier is very, very expensive right now because of the COVID. So I will send it to you by speed post, which may take at least 4 or 5 days to reach you. So in case you want this book, message me on the number which is given there, and I will send you the details of where to transfer your money. It's rupees 600 for the book and 200 postage, right? Okay, God bless you all the very best. I will stay in touch almost every day with something or the other coming your way. Take care. God bless you. Stay safe. Stay happy.